Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor. We have lots to talk about as we are seeing our first chances of rainfall move into the forecast, what has been a very dry spell. So what's happening with those pop-up afternoon showers? We'll break that down in detail in just a couple of moments. But what we're also going to talk about is higher rain chances moving into parts of next week. So yes, today we did see a few showers, experience a few rumbles of thunder as well. But come next week, those will become increased. Honestly, exponentially speaking. Is summer here for good? That's the golden question that several of us are asking right now, as we all have had those hot conditions sticking around into the weekend and going to be sticking around for a while from here. So we'll answer all these questions in just a few moments, but let's focus on the here and now. What are we experiencing outside? Well, over in Aberdeen, it is a beautiful sky, 93 degrees, so there's that summer heat we were talking about. But the thing with these clouds is they are becoming a bit more on the towering side, meaning that they are getting some vertical lift to them, so they could possibly produce showers and even, like we're seeing in Pontotoc, a few thunderstorms. Speaking of Pontotoc, let's go ahead and jump there right now. What we're seeing, I know it's behind the tower right there, but these dark clouds off in the distance, there's your isolated rain chance that's moving through Pontotoc County in the heart of Pontotoc as we speak. Getting a look out of the camera right there in downtown Pontotoc. So as we take a look outside, we are going to be experiencing several chances of rainfall, with the primary one being over in Pontotoc, like I mentioned, but throughout the night, it's going to be remaining very isolated in nature. So getting towards 6, 7, 8 o'clock, 10% chance of rainfall as those start to cycle on through. But once sun does set, that's where we'll see the chances become a bit drier heading into the overnight hours. 80 by 10, 77 by 1 a.m. So yes, we are cooling off overnight. That is something to look forward to as that Mississippi heat bears its presence on us. There's that shower that we're watching. Let me zoom in on this here real quick to give you a better look. Bear with me one moment right here. Well, it seems like we're not going to work today. So unfortunately, this is the shower right there. I apologize. I would have to look at this in the background. I can actually adjust it right here on the screen to the side. So let me zoom in here real quick so we can navigate this. What we have is this shower moving through Pontotoc and into Union County. You're seeing it right on the east side of New Albany. As this continues to track on through, trying to see if anything works right now. Seems like this might be down. I'll have to restart this computer here in a moment. But those continue to cycle through on the east side of Union County and Pontotoc County. As that continues to move west at about 10 miles an hour, you'll see that in downtown Pontotoc here in the next 10 minutes or so, and New Albany coming in about the next 15 to 20. What you're going to experience is a few rumbles of thunder, those lightning strikes coming in right there on the east side of the city over I-22. And if you want any evidence, my wife just texted me there was a loud boom at the house. So that was over in northern Lee County, and that wasn't too far away from where it was once sitting. More back behind there in northwest Alabama continue to cycle on through, and down in Winston County, more are starting to develop. So this is just the typical summer pattern. We've been very dry, but of course that has to end at some point. It is today. Those isolated chances not having anything too significant. When we're looking at this measurement of what we're seeing, anywhere from a few 1/100ths of an inch to just over the Tennessee state line there in Savannah, coming in with about a 1/2 inch to an inch. So some areas more than others, but fortunately in Mississippi, only getting about a few 1/100ths to about a 1/10 of an inch max. Whenever we look at the surface analysis, we're watching several things. Of course, that moisture coming in from the Gulf, but also you can see that tropical storm developed off the Atlantic coast. That is going to be something that will affect our forecast into next week. Not really here in Mississippi, but mainly along the Atlantic coast. So keeping an eye out there in the Atlantic, but overall not expecting anything too major here. Going to zoom back in to our futurecast to see what is happening over in North Mississippi. And honestly, guys, it is going to be that typical copy and paste pattern with isolated showers and storms developing. This is overnight hours. You see a few of those greens popping up. Now, while this is possible, whenever you don't have that heating mechanism, it becomes a much more uphill battle for these storms to develop. So I really expect it to remain very dry overnight. I don't expect rumbles of thunder, and I would expect this to be our driest time in the next 24 hours. Sunday morning starts out, and this is why that 10% chance is there. That sun does come up, and a few of these greens and yellows are sticking around. That's just those isolated showers continuing to develop in this prime summer environment. It does not take much at all for those to occur. Those continue into the mid-morning. By late morning, we dry up just a bit. So maybe getting out of church on the drier side. But if your pastor likes to talk long, then you might be walking out the door to a few isolated showers, especially over in Lafayette County, down in the Golden Triangle in Winston County. And those become much more widespread further on into the day, much different than what we saw even 24 hours ago. So that shows that today kind of set the scene for what's to come in the future. So Sunday coming in with much more rain chances, especially by mid to late afternoon. So make sure to have that rain gear ready. You'll be glad you did, trust me. By 5 o'clock, you're continuing to see those mainly develop down around Forest and Canton, but those are getting into the Highway 82 corridor, Durant, Winona, Louisville, and Columbus, seeing a few of those showers and storms. So for the next 24, it is going to see several rain chances in it, but not anything too extreme. 30% is our highest coverage there at 3 p.m. on our Sunday, but come next week, this gets to be a much more significant forecast with more elevated rainfall chances. So we are going to track that out here in the next 60 seconds, so make sure to keep it here at Mississippi Live Weather for the latest on your information, and especially for that extended forecast.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Laupon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Laupon has proven himself trustworthy.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, giving you more updates on what to expect for your Saturday. And honestly, so far, it has been a great day all the way around. Those few isolated showers not playing too much of a part for a lot of us. Again, just affecting a very minimal amount of people. And by the time you're complaining about it, it's moved on to the next county. Right now, 80 degrees feels like 82, so that moisture not moving into the forecast just yet. Just a 2-degree difference, but that does change into the coming days. So if you like heat, if you like mugginess, well, you'll be in for it coming early parts of next week. Grenada, 93 feels like 100. So some areas are getting that moisture moving into the forecast with that 7-degree temperature change well into the triple digits. We have talked about that, how that forecast is changing, and that summer is finally kicking in. Mabon, same thing, 91 feels like 100. So some areas are going to be experiencing a little bit more of that moisture, but all of us come next week, we'll be experiencing it. Those clouds, like we talked about, those cumulus clouds now starting to extend a little bit more up, showing that vertical development, showing that this is a much more mature environment for these to produce showers, and even, as we mentioned, a few isolated storms. Day planner shows exactly that for our Sunday. 7 a.m. should be relatively dry, maybe an isolated shower here and there, but by the time we get towards noon, and especially towards the afternoon, that coverage becomes much more scattered and much more extensive. We're not seeing everybody see widespread impacts, but enough to be a noticeable difference from what we saw even 24 hours ago, and especially over the last 96, where it has been a very, very dry forecast. So Futurecast shows exactly what I'm talking about with some of those drier conditions for the start of the day. But as the day goes on, that does start to shift just a bit more as I adjust this here. you're going to see those chances really kick in by early to really mid-morning. That's when they start. But as we enter towards the late afternoon, afternoon is what I meant to say. Early to mid-afternoon, we'll see those start to develop, and then as we get towards the late afternoon, that's when the highest chances will be. So Sunday morning, starting out mostly dry. A few isolated chances are possible, but battling an uphill battle, enough to have an umbrella down around Atala County. But towards the afternoon, that's when to expect it the most. Low temperatures tomorrow morning, low 70s expected, so this is going to be still a warmer start to the day, but it is around average for what we'd expect this time of year. We were definitely blessed last week when we had the temperatures we did. Mid-morning, as I mentioned, chances are there, but this swath of moisture not going to be producing too many showers. Not until noontime, when we start to really get those shower chances ramping up. 20% coverage is what I have by noon. That could definitely be on the uptick as we head into our afternoon. 30% coverage by 3, and it's again going to be this moderate rainfall. Not really expecting too many thunderstorms out of this, but a few of these could produce a rumble of thunder or two down around Atala County. I know you're the hot spot here for our Futurecast, but that's honestly anywhere in North Mississippi is possible to see that. Into the rest of our afternoon, that's where we were talking about some of these more significant coverages. By 5 p.m., you might have saw that dark red produced. That's where we're expecting those thunderstorms to occur. So it is definitely possible in this environment to see some on the heavier side, meaning heavy precipitation and rumbles of thunder expected. And reason why? Well, you need heat and you need moisture for a thunderstorm to take place, as well as some vertical lift. But a very simple ingredients to produce something pretty impactful. Sorry, I'm trying to get sciencey on you, but also keep it pretty simple. High temperatures tomorrow shows that the heating mechanism is there. Mid-90s as we head out the door Sunday afternoon. But again, that moisture, that mugginess factor, that's also going to be in the forecast. Shows right here on heat index, making it feel like well into 100, 103 Grenada, 105 out there in Clarksdale. So whenever you have these two things, that's why we're saying it's an environment that you could definitely see a few isolated showers tomorrow afternoon. 105 though, I want to talk about that because that is heat advisory level. Could have a few of those issued along the Mississippi River as we enter towards our Sunday afternoon. So if it's issued or if it's not, go ahead and be on the safe side and stay hydrated and stay cool. Futurecast into the rest of our evening just basically sees that those showers fizzle out, not going to be too impactful beyond that sunset time frame, and that stays dry overnight. So Monday morning, we're waking up, heading out the door to mostly dry conditions. Then we move into the early afternoon time frame like it has been, and a few more isolated showers start to develop right there in the Memphis, Olive Branch area, moving in that east-southeast direction before becoming a bit more widespread. And this is one of our stronger models in regards to rainfall output, but others showing a telltale sign that this is definitely expected for our Monday afternoon. So go ahead and be on the safe side, have that rain gear ready as this does start to move in that east-southeast motion further into our afternoon and evening Monday. For your Monday right there. As we head into the night, sunset happens, showers fizzle out. It's a copy and paste pattern that we'll see over the next several days. And by the time we get into Tuesday morning, starting out dry, and you guessed it, more rain chances by the afternoon. So high temperatures for your Monday going to be in the mid-90s, as I mentioned. Going to be a toasty next couple of days, especially when you factor in that heat index value, even Monday afternoon. With several rain chances moving through the area, bringing that momentary relief, still getting into 104 Clarksdale, 103 in Cleveland. That's going to be a telltale sign of what to expect in the future. Copy and paste that hot and muggy forecast beyond that point. High temperatures show exactly that. 94 Sunday, Monday, 93 for your Tuesday before dropping, we're going to say dropping into the 90s, low 90s for your midweek to latter week time frame. Heat index values don't really follow that same trend. They basically stay the same and stick around in that same hot, miserable threshold over the next 7 days, Sunday, Monday, about 102, 103. By the time we get towards Tuesday, Wednesday, we are right under that heat advisory threshold. So like I mentioned, a few of us going to be in that threshold need to go ahead and be on the safe side, all of us, and stay cool and stay hydrated. So there's a look at your chances. And as I mentioned, Mondays could definitely be a tick up. I might take that up to 30% by the 10 o'clock in case this trend does continue. But by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's the time frame we've been expecting over the past several days where we'll see our most significant rainfall, even a few thunderstorms within that. So nothing severe of note right now, but definitely keeping an eye on that as we head over the next several days. This is basically going to be your typical summer forecast. So it's not unexpected, but definitely has been a while since we've seen something like this. Now, temperature-wise, into the 90s, like I mentioned, so on top of staying dry, on top of that concern, we also need to have ways of staying hydrated. We're also tracking some tropical development. We'll talk more details on that here in the next 60 seconds, so of course keep it with Mississippi Live Weather for the very latest.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome.
prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Hello, test, test. I think we got it. I think we're back now. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk through this one more time. This is Tropical Storm Chantal. That is out in the Atlantic coast right now, producing pretty heavy amounts of rainfall, lots of flooding expected. You're seeing that move up the Atlantic coast as we speak, 6 to 7 o'clock time frame, and circulating in a lot of the Atlantic moisture right now. The 6 o'clock advisory shows that it is moving about north at 6 miles an hour, 1,006 millibars on that pressure level. That has dropped pretty drastically over the past couple of scans as that strengthens up the Atlantic coast. 45 miles an hour as we speak. Comparatively speaking, yesterday was at about 35 miles an hour. So this has been something that we've been monitoring, watching, but not expected to impact our forecast over the next 24 to 48 hours. Staying pretty dry over here in Mississippi. But something of note over the past couple of scans, and I'm actually going to, bear with me, I'm going to walk off screen again, but I want to show you guys what exactly is happening out there because this is definitely a cool satellite imagery to see. So I'm going to move it over right here, and you can see as this has cycled over the past couple of scans that you have some of the bubbling that you see whenever you have vertical development on a few of these storms. So in the heart of this tropical storm, you see those little ridges happening right there. That is satellite imagery showing that this storm has vertical development. It does show some strengthening and does show some significant thunderstorms right in the heart of this tropical storm. That's expected, but you can see it on satellite imagery pretty clearly on our Mississippi Live weather radar. That will continue to move up the Carolinas as we speak and then continue out into the Atlantic coast. So based off of this path, the distance between Mississippi and this path is about 500 to 600 miles. So not impacting our forecast, but could see a few of those isolated showers, like we've been mentioning, cycle into North Mississippi with the interaction in the upper atmosphere. So that is what we've been tracking with Chantal. This is continuing to do damage out in the Carolinas. So our thoughts and prayers are definitely with them. But fortunately here in Northeast Mississippi, we do not see any impacts, but still rainfall in the forecast. We're going to talk more about those rain chances at 10 and just how much we're going to get over the next couple of days. And if you need to have that rain gear around for good, as well as if that Mississippi heat's sticking around for good, all of that coming up in more detail tonight at 10.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.